Hello, everyone. I think I'm live now. I'm really sorry that I am not a very good YouTuber. Like, I really haven't figured out how to do all this stuff. So I hope you guys can forgive me when it comes to me going live. Like, I really struggle with it, and I'm practically blind. So I can hardly see with these buttons. Even with my spectacles on, I'm still blind as a bat. So just forgive me. I'm really not tech savvy. So I hope I'm live, and I hope that you guys can hear and see me. And I hope that you guys can see the computer screen somewhat okay. I still haven't figured out how to share my screen yet. So I hope that you guys can see it. We are doing Bernadette Walker today. Still haven't figured out how to. Sorry. And I hope I can see all of you guys. Let's see. There's the chat button. Top chat, some messages. I think I need to say visible chat. I hope that's the right button. Live chat, all messages. Okay. Hi Aggie. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Brooke was over on the other side. I hope she comes over to here. Brooke might still be waiting in the comment section over on the other side. Let me try to send her a notice so she can find me. I restarted another live stream. Okay. I hope Brooke finds us in YouTube land. All right, so we are going to be doing the location astrology for Bernadette Walker. Bernadette Walker went missing on the 18th of July, 2020. And her stepfather was accused of basically ending her life. He was sentenced to jail. He was serving time in jail in England. This happened in Peterborough, England, okay? Her remains have not been found, and when he died, he took that secret to the grave with him. I'll show you pictures of Scott Walker. She was 17 years old. She had a large family. I believe she had a large family. I'm going to say there's 9 or 10 children. I'm not sure of the exact amount of children, but it's a large amount of children in this family. She has a brother, Anthony, that misses her dearly. I believe there's a couple of other siblings that have put up pictures of their sister. The girl that asked me to do this is a subscriber who has been sending me pictures from the siblings where, the siblings still seems like they still love Scott. I mean, as terrible as that sounds, this family was grieving the loss of Scott too. So I believe that they are conflicted. This is the stepfather here. He did admit to putting cameras into the shower where she was taking showers. She did confess. Hello, it's good to see you. Is that Borges? 01? Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad that you find my videos very helpful. I appreciate that. I'm still learning, and I'm basically recording my learning journey with all of you guys. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm recording this as I go along. So this is the monster that law enforcement has basically, declared that he is the one responsible for harming her. you know, he stopped by a garage, and I keep going back and looking at the astrology here, and he did visit the garage, and basically they call it a rucksack in England, but you know what it is her book bag was discovered in the garage. And you know, I'm looking at this as well, and even with, you know, if we were doing like a missing necklace, I mean, I know we're doing a missing person, okay? But let's say we were looking for a missing set of keys, or a missing set of earrings, or somebody's necklace. With it showing up in the 10th house here, it usually means that something will be discovered quickly and returned quickly. If you know, if we're looking at it as in property. And that's interesting to me because the 10th house does show that, you know, her book bag was recovered pretty quickly. So the astrology, you know, there's little things in this astrology that does match up. I do believe that he did abuse her, which affected her health. I do believe he was trying to keep her quiet, keep it a secret here with Neptune. As well, asteroid Nessus is an asteroid that does mean abuse. So, and that he was angry with her. We have Aries in the 7th house. The 7th house rules the killer. The first house rules the victim. The victim is being ruled by Virgo. So what this means to me is that our victim is probably in a shallow grave. That she is in Earth, okay? Because we have our victim being ruled by Earth, an Earth sign. I can also kind of look at this little square down here as well. I like to look at this little square down here. And if you look, you know, we have a lot of Earth showing up in her chart. Hey, Brooke, I'm glad you found me. Why is this such a different format? I don't know. Brooke, honey, I honestly don't know. Brooke needs to be running the show. Aggie needs to be running the show here because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff. I can do the astrology part. You girls need to do the technology part for me because I am obviously lost, right? Okay, so she might be near a water source, but I would say that it's a how I'm looking at this for me is that the father was very emotional. She was very emotional for this crime to take place. He was emotional and he was angry, right? Because Aries is the ram, okay? He is in crime. Now remember, this is crime. We're not looking at all the beautiful rainbows and butterflies of these planets and signs right now. I'm going to be looking at the negative aspects of these planets. You know, Aries on a basic natal chart, on somebody's natal chart, Aries are wonderful people. My daughter is an Aries. They think with their head. They think with their horns. They're very protective. They are a wonderful sign. They rule the first house, which means I am born. And we use the first house in criminal astrology because it's what attracts the killer to our victim, right? The face. The body of, you know, I am born, thyself, right? Who you are. What attracts a killer, which rules the 7th house, and the victim rules the AC line. So we're looking at what attracts the killer to our victim. So the first house rules the face, you know, your personality, who you are, and how you are presented to the world, okay? Am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling. I hope I'm not yelling. Hello, the missing. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here and stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thanks for giving me a chance, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm really not a professional YouTuber. I really don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm just sharing my journey with you guys as I learn this stuff. And my daughter's upstairs playing a video game, and she's a really good... Okay, okay. Hi, Sam. It's good to see you, sweetheart. Happy Sunday. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I feel like I'm yelling, but I'm not. So my daughter is an Aries, and she's upstairs playing a video game like an Aries would. She's a very good smack talker, so you will hear her yelling and belittling people in the background. Just ignore that. Okay. She's a really good. Yes, I'm glad that you guys are learning with me. I really appreciate it. Okay, so this is what I've gotten so far with the location map. So this is the map of England, okay? And I figured out where her house is. It was difficult to figure out addresses in England. They're weird, okay? The addresses in England are weird. But I did figure it out, and I've been talking to my subscriber that asked me to do this for them. You know, we both agree that this is the right location. So as you can see, it's very populated area, right? So in the beginning, I thought that he may have done this at the house, but when you look at how populated, you know, this area is, you know, there's no way he did this to her at the house. And law enforcement backs that up, that he took about 418 steps, or he took over 400 steps away from the house. So this is the line of Mars here that I was working on. I will tell you that I picked, okay, so with her, I picked a circumference, which is like basically a distance. The fourth house is in the womb and in the tomb, how the crime carries out and basically the end of the matter, right? So I use the miles. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I use the miles for 24, okay, is the number that I'm working with. But there's also a couple of 25s in this astrology. I have 25 for the AC line, which is ruling our victim. I have 25 ruling the DC line, and I have 24 ruling the IC line and the MC line. So this is kind of giving me a distance, and because the sun, which can mean the father, is at 26 degrees. He is also being ruled by Pisces, which is Jupiter, and that's at 21 degrees. Death, the planet of death and rebirth, is at 23 degrees. So I felt the need to use both. And I might be breaking a criminal astrology rule here. I'm really not sure if I am breaking a criminal astrology rule. Missy, the forensic astrologer, she always tells me to go with what I feel, to go with my gut. So I am going to take her advice. And, you know, I watch Kirsty McIntosh all the time. I watch her videos like 1,000 times over and over again until I can memorize it and get it. You know, she says, you know, to pay attention to certain things in the chart as well when we're trying to figure out miles. So I am seeing a couple of 25s. Her arch nemesis, a nemesis at 25. You know, we have a fated degree at 29 degrees, which is a degree of fate. It's a bad degree, okay? It's a degree of, it can mean death, okay? So, I mean, law enforcement has already confirmed that we're dealing with locating a body, okay? She's no longer considered missing. She is considered deceased. I even have Uranus showing up in the 8th house of death. And, you know, Uranus is that unexpected event that happens on this particular day. So, I mean, we are looking at, we're looking at a death, okay? And law enforcement has confirmed that as well, that she's no longer with us, guys, okay? So this is me attempting to locate a body. So I'm going to explain to you the circumference and the miles out that I decided to go with. So I'm doing 2.4 yards away from the house, and then I'm doing 2.4 miles away from the house. So that's this ring here, if you can see it, right? And then I'm doing 24 miles away from the house, okay? So that's this outside ring here, right here. So that's 24 miles away from the house, and out here, I'm sorry, 2.4, I think this is the 2.4 miles. And out here, this ring over here is the 24 miles, the ring out here. You can kind of see where there's these locations. Now this wooded area here, this is the line of Saturn, which rules DNA, okay? Which, remember, Capricorn, Saturn, it rules things that are cold, things that earth, it's an earth sign, right? Her Saturn is in Capricorn. So I do believe that she's in earth. The fact that she's showing up in Virgo makes me believe that she is in earth, okay? It is, Sam. It's really sad. I know. Out here is 24 miles. And then I even went out a distance of, now you can see it, guys. It's just farmland, right? I mean, it's just miles and miles of farms. Look at all this, like just complete, flat, hardly any hills, farmland. But you can kind of see that even the map, so the killer is being ruled by Jupiter, and I'm trying to get it so you guys can see. My dog is sitting over here just staring at the wall, and it's freaking me out. What are you doing? She's just staring at the wall like a weirdo. Come in here and lay down. She probably sees a ghost. Okay, hopefully it's Bernadette. I am going to be doing a spirit box session with Bernadette Walker as well. So I put in 25 miles as well. This is the 24-mile marker, and I am feeling like in this chart that he did take her a distance away when he did kill her, okay? In my humble opinion, she's in earth, okay? So where these lines crisscross, so the circumference, the distance out compared to where the lines of where the planets are going, right? So this is the line of Jupiter, which is ruling the killer. This is the line of Saturn, which is ruling our victim's DNA, possibly. It forms a pie. It forms this shape, I mean, on these charts. And I think that's absolutely amazing. So I would be interested in this little area here on the map that is like these dense woods. You can kind of see there's these woods that Jupiter and the killer and her DNA go through. So, you know, some of these areas here. And if you look, it starts to map out actually like roads that he may have taken to get there. This road here is a main road. You start to see these highways, right? I'm not sure of the spelling, but Breton Way maybe, or Breton Way. I'm not really sure. It's hard to pronounce this stuff. But, you know, it starts to kind of map out possible roads. That looks like one of those traffic circle things, you know, here. A circle. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't figured out how to share my screen yet. But you can kind of see where I'm going at here, that possibly he used some of these roads. So this is ruling the father. Jupiter means husband as well. So I would be interested in these areas here. Now, the line of Mars could be where I found the line of Mars over here. So just give me a second. It takes a long time. I mean, she does have a bigger map than what I'm used to working with. Usually we're like 2 miles away from somebody's house. But because, you know, because the astrology is mapping out 25, I really do need to, I really need to push it, okay? So it does make it more difficult to do these kinds of maps for victims, but I do believe it's worth it because the numbers are there, and I should honor that for this victim as well, right? So, I mean, we have the number 24, and we do have the number 25. So, you know, I do want to also consider this, and I do feel like something is up with these roads that are crisscrossing, right? I'm not sure what this highway is here, Walton Highway or Walton Paston. It's crisscrossing these roads. So I do feel like the killer utilized some of these roads. I hope you guys can see that as well. All right, so the next line that I wanted to look at, and we can do together, is, let's see. I wanted to map out the moon, which is at 27 degrees. It's in Gemini. It's right on the cusp. So I do believe that she must have been in communication with her mother. The moon is another giver of light, another giver of life. The sun is also considered a father in a chart, or, you know, head of household, your king, your head of house, right? The Leo rules the head of the lion, right? The lion's mane, head of, king of, lord of, your authority. Jupiter is usually a husband. It can also be a father. Saturn is also a father as well. So, I mean, you can kind of see that these planets are all kind of playing a role here too. So I also, the moon is a second co-ruler for Bernadette. She's not considered under 5, but she still is considered a missing person, a missing body. So the moon is a second co-ruler for our victim. So the moon means 2 things in this chart. The moon means this is also her mother, but it is also a second co-ruler for our victim who is missing, right? So I do feel like we should go ahead and also do the moon. So we'll do that together. And so the moon is Gemini. It's in Gemini. Gemini is at 60 degrees. So what we'll do is we'll take 60 degrees and we're going to add 27 to that. So you can see I'm adding 60 plus 27. So that's 7, 6, 7, 8, 87 degrees. Let me make sure that I'm right. 60 degrees. So that would bring it to 87 degrees. So that's the degree that I need to search. Okay. So we'll do that now. We're going to enter that now. 87 degrees from the location of her home. Now, what's kind of upsetting is that she went missing from the grandparents' house. So I will be doing another map of the grandparents' house as well. So we will do that. We're probably going to end up doing multiple maps, which I think is responsible for me to do. Multiple maps, multiple times. This is the what's that word? Trajectory of the planets in the sky at 10:49 a.m. This is the location of the planets at 10:49 a.m. Okay, so we're going to be looking for the 87th degree. So it takes practice, just bear with me. It's kind of hard to do this, but once I find it, I got it. So you can see this like little black and white line showing up on the map. That's me looking for the 87th degree. That's 72. 90 is too far. It's really hard to get it. 87. This is 83. It just goes 83 to 90. So I really need to... I don't know if you can see that black and white line that appears on the map. This is how I'm looking for the basically the planets, the line of the planets. There it was. I just saw it. 87. Got it. Okay, I'm at 87 now. I'm just going to keep pushing that line out. So this is the second co-ruler of our victim. So there could be something here. Could be where her book bag was. It could be, I mean, this could map out some of the roads that were taken to carry out her death. This could be a place that she or the killer frequented, or that the killer frequented the day that she went missing, okay? So these lines are playing a role in her death, because these are the planets that were over her head ruling her when she went missing. Okay. It's kind of hard to use this scribble maps, but the scribble maps is the only way to go, because it's the only place that allows us to have you know, to do the degrees of each planet. So that's why I wasn't able to get anywhere using Google Maps. I was using Google Maps for the longest time, and it doesn't allow us to do what Scribble Maps does. So we're going to just keep following this line out. I hope you guys can see it. Thank you so much, Brooke. Yeah, you guys do all that stuff. Hit the thumbs up and leave me a like. I don't have enough subscribers yet to have like that cash icon, but if you guys want to support my work and, you know, see, you can actually see how much this stuff like costs. Like, it's expensive to do this stuff, you know, like, and if you think about YouTubers that do this stuff on a regular basis, I mean, it adds up. You think about, you know, we're subscribed to channels that are in true crime, so we pay their membership fees. We pay for all of this stuff to make these videos and these programs that we need. It does add up to be a YouTuber. I really never thought about the overhead cost for doing true crime, but yeah, it's there. So, I mean, if you guys want to provide me a donation, I really appreciate it. I don't like to charge for victims. I would never charge for a victim, but if you want to support me by giving me a donation to my Cash App, that would be great. I'm not monetized yet, so I don't have the little cash icon yet. But yeah, you can Cash App me. That would be great too. Whatever you guys can do to show support, it's greatly appreciated, so I can continue to try to help find missing people. You know, that's what I want to do is help find missing people. And God forbid anything ever happened to one of you guys. You know, if something ever happened to Aggie, or if something ever happened to Brooke, you know, or anyone that Brooke cares about, or anyone that Aggie cares about and loves, I mean, or any of my family ever goes missing, I mean, this is why I'm doing this. I hope that I can find them for you. You know, that's my point, is that I want to help people. All right, so we're doing 87 degrees here. I'm going to continue this 87-degree line of the moon, and I have to make a note of it so I don't forget. So can you guys remember I'm doing the moon in case I forget? So we'll label it as the moon as we go. You can kind of see it. It is difficult to get this line just right, you know? It takes a lot of practice. I should redo that one. All right. All right, so we hit on that little doohickey there. And we're doing 87 degrees. Yeah, it takes a lot of time and practice, but, you know, one day I'll be good at this stuff. The thing that I was really intimidated about was learning the math of it, but I'm getting better with that. It's not as intimidating as I thought it was going to be, because it's a formula, and once you get it, you get it. And I really regret when I talked to law enforcement that day about Kiesland, when the police officer asked me, he was like, you know, can this be used in a court of law? He's like, let me say that I use this map and I happen to find her, you know, how can I explain it? And I said no, and I really regret that. Oh, I should have said, absolutely, you can explain it, because honestly, you guys, it's a mathematical degree, right? I mean, it's following a mathematical degree of the planets, the day that a person's reported missing, and that person that's missing is ruled by a planet, the day they went missing, and as the day goes on, that planet may change, but you can still follow a path of a planet. And I mean, if you guys watch Kirsty McIntosh, you guys know that she's found people. She's done plenty of videos where she has located people, and time again, her charts ring true. Even when she just did her recent chart, locating the girl that was pregnant and she was shot and her boyfriend were shot. They said it was a drug deal that went wrong. You know, Kirsty mapped them out before she mapped it out, guys. And it's basically the same thing. So, I mean, yes, I do believe that you could use this in a court of law. You could explain it easily, right? So this is her second ruler of herself. And I should also probably do the AC line and the DC line for her as well. And I'm going to take it all the way out, and I'm just going to continue following the 87th degree of the moon. And you start to see a pattern, right? I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a pattern of the events that probably happened that day, the roads that were taken, the pathway that he took. This might be the line of a weapon. If he, you know, he could have stabbed her with Mars being involved in the 7th house. He could have, there could be a weapon, and this could be the line of the weapon right here. Or where the rage and anger took place, somewhere over in here, where the anger started to build, right? So, I mean, you start to see it map out these roads, and it kind of gives you chills. It really does. Because you're seeing a path. You're seeing a possible plan taking place at a certain time of the day with these planets. Love you too, Aggie. Or am I using StreamYard? I don't even know if I'm using StreamYard, guys. I'm sorry. I don't even know. I think I applied for StreamYard, but I'm not sure. If does it say I'm on StreamYard? Can you tell? I don't even know. I suck at being a YouTuber, guys. I'm really not a YouTuber. I mean, one thing is for sure, you can see that he was angry. This is anger. That is rage. And you see Mars with this little arrow pointed. That little arrow right there on Mars, that is a possible weapon, guys. I mean, I have to be honest. It could be a weapon. He could have stabbed her. I don't think England has guns. But, you know, there's all kinds of ways that you can kill somebody even if you don't have a gun, right? I mean, sadly. Is it acting weird? Okay. All right. So we're going to keep pushing this line here, the 87th degree. I mean, and these lines could go to a friend's house. It could go to a place that she talked to, or a place that she frequented with a friend, you know? This could actually map out a place where she had a friend, someone she confided in about the sexual abuse. So it's going through houses. I mean, it's going right through the backyards, right through the front door of somebody's house here, you know, right through somebody's yard. So it is something to think about. She may have confided into somebody about the sexual abuse. All right, so this is still going to keep pushing the moon line at 87 degrees. Sorry, I get really quiet when I do this. I'm trying to focus, so I get really quiet. It's kind of relaxing to do it, though. Kind of ASMR, forensic astrology, maybe. Is the chat acting strange, too? Huh. I'm sorry. Am I like bouncing around? Like, all right, so I hope you can see the little line right here. This is the line that we're pushing right here at, you know, at a, well, basically like mapping the moon onto land. And the moon is the second co-ruler of our victim. So that's why it's important that we do it. So this is Newark Avenue here, going through on the moon line. I'm going to take, it takes me to this house here. So I will, when the lines cross like this, so I don't know if you can see it. Can you see how it comes to the circle and it crosses? So I'm going to circle that little area as well. Because it's kind of like where these two lines are meeting, and I just circle them. It doesn't really mean anything, but I do think it's important because there could be possibly something here. This could be an area where she had, like I said, a friend that she was trying to confide in, or an area that he crossed paths, or a road that he would have had to turn around, or something could have been involved in this little area here, because this line here, this line crisscrosses with this line. I hope you can see that. And that's why I circle it. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys can see. Okay. All right, so we're going to keep pushing this all the way out. Till I get to the next line. Everyone says to be careful not to make too many lines because it can get confusing, but you know, I am still learning. This is still new to me, so I really want to, I just don't want to miss anything, you know, because it could mean something. There could be something there. I mean, he could have thrown a knife in this somewhere, buried a knife here. You know, you just don't know. I mean, it seems like he hit a couple of places They had this garage, and he hid her book bag back in the garage after he said she ran away. You know, she jumped out of the car and ran away when he went to go retrieve her from the grandparents' house, which is utter bullshit. Okay, I don't think if she jumped out of the car to run away, it's because she felt threatened. And law enforcement said he did take 400 steps that day out, you know, basically in the middle of nowhere. So that's why I'm really trying to hit these places that are in the middle of nowhere. Because I do think he drove her some distance to do this evil deed. I do. So we'll take a look to see where we're at now with the moon line, and you can kind of see how far the moon line takes us from our house. And this is how it's done. I know this is a lot of area and territory, but I do think it's important. Light it up so you can see. So I'll circle that area too, where the lines cross here as well, as a place of interest. Or, you know, it just could be something on the map that if law enforcement or family ever happens to see this video and they're like, oh yeah, she circled this area here because that's so-and-so's house, or that's, you know, that's a family member's house, or yeah, they live right near there. From what I understand, we should consider like a few miles, you know, even though I'm putting this line here, we should consider the whole trajectory path, you know, a couple feet, well, like even up to a mile this way or a mile that way. I mean, we should really consider this whole, the few areas here outside this line on both sides of it. I hope that makes sense, what I'm saying. I might want to make that a little bit bigger too, because it's not very big. You really can start to see it. It starts to paint a picture. That's the only way I can describe it, is it really tells us an area that she could be at. In between here, especially in between here, I'm thinking. Oh. And then I should label it as well so I don't mess it up. That this is the moon line. Second co-ruler, I'll put second co-ruler. And then let's see. Thanks for being here with me, guys, while I learn this. I really appreciate it. Anybody think, you know, we know that he did it. We know that Scott Walker did it. I mean, this is the monster that took her life. I think they're still investigating how he died in prison. I mean, he was only, he was in his young 50s, his early 50s. I'm wondering if he took his own life. I haven't looked at his astrology yet to see if he did take his own life. But it is interesting that he died at such a young age. I mean, it looks like they were the last article that I read was saying that they were basically researching how he passed. Any of you guys have any ideas about what may have happened to her, or do you guys think that she's an Earth, like the astrology is saying? I do think he did make her smaller. not really dismemberment. I'm not sure if dismemberment is quite the word that I'm looking for, but I feel like he put her in something that makes her smaller, that we would be shocked that she even fit into something like that. And then I feel like he buried her in a shallow grave. That's what I think. And I know that there's not a lot of water around here, or like huge rivers, or like a river source, but because we're dealing with farmland, I'm almost wondering if she was put near like piping where there could be water, like a water source. Because I mean, I have a lot of earth, but if she is near any type of water source, I would say that it's like a hose or something like that, like a pipe that there might be like a pipe underground that gives water to the crops, something like that. If she is near any water, but there's not a lot of water in her chart. Capricorn is ruling the fourth house, which is in the womb and in the tomb. Herself is being ruled by Virgo, which is another earth sign. Capricorn is an earth sign. The killer is, Neptune, which does rule secret affairs, doing things that are illegal in the bedroom, in the bed, not really the bedroom, but in the actual bed. Neptune rules dreams and sleep, and Neptune is pillow talk, right? The things that pillow talk. So, I mean, he did get busted for having a camera in her shower. So, I do feel like he had a secret and he was trying to maintain that secret. And Nessus it can rule sexual abuse too, guys. It rules abuse. And Jupiter is ruling our killer here as well. So in Capricorn, which is the physical body, right? I mean, and Pluto is conjunct her physical body as well, and Pluto is the planet of death. So these three planets here together, and this one ruling the killer, and it's conjunct, very close conjunction at 21 degrees, at 23 degrees. Yeah, I think he caused harm to her. It's opposed the sun. Pluto is opposed the sun. And like I said, sun is, even though he's her stepfather, it's still considered a father figure, right? And it's opposed Pluto. So it's an opposition. I guess that's the proper word I'm supposed to be using. I still get the lingo of being an astrologer mixed up. I try to kind of talk to you guys using regular words, because that opposed and square and, sextile, all that used to intimidate me a little bit. So I try to use, easier to understand lingo. Conjunct means that they're next to each other. Opposed means that they're opposites, so that they're in opposition. There can be some energy between those planets because they're opposed. They're opposite each other. So I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm just still following this line out. Trying to stick to the 87th degree. It's really hard to follow, but I'm trying. It's taking me back over this intersection again, this highway that keeps popping up. I do believe that some of these roads were utilized in her crime, in her death, absolutely. Because, I mean, the lines keep crossing over them. Because it goes all the way out here. It's interesting. So we're still following this line here. I'll try to make it a little bit brighter, but there it is here. This is the line we're going to keep following. really want to get it to the 87. It's really hard to stay on that trajectory path, but I'm trying. It's taking me behind these like businesses here too. And this could be a place where the killer worked, where the killer frequented. Right behind this parking lot and this warehouse. It looks creepy. He could have utilized a dumpster back here. I mean, anything is possible. Because it's the moon, we really, really need to consider it. Again, it takes me to one of these circles. These bushes back here, I kind of want to circle as well. They look suspicious to me. I think it's an area of interest. I mean, I know I end up having tons of circles all around these maps, but I mean, you just never know, you know? And a person who's local to England might be like, oh yeah, he used to work there, or he has a friend that works there, or, you know, you just never know. So they have a huge family. So it really wouldn't surprise me if, you know, we find out some of these circles that I'm circling mean something. So I'm trying not to leave anything unnoticed. And I'm going to take it all the way out to these two lines here. And then once I finish up the moon line, I'll probably pop in and make another video, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you guys are all busy and you guys mod for really big channels, and I don't want to take up your time. So we'll just finish the moon line, and then we'll finish up for Bernadette. And then when I finish her whole map, I'll pop on and do another reading for you guys. Maybe we'll look at Scott's astrology and see if it gives any clues to how he passed away. Be interesting. I'm curious if he did take his own life. I'm not sure if he had any medical problems. Does anybody know if he had medical problems? I'm not sure. Check the settings, okay. Yeah. What do you think, Brooke? Like, you're a pretty psychic person. I mean, how do you think Scott took his own life for what he did to his stepdaughter? Like, dying at a young age of 50, it's I find that suspicious. Do you think he took his own life? You think he did? Okay. I trust Brooke. Aggie and Brooke are pretty, have some abilities, I believe, some gifts. So I always trust their opinion and give them credit for it too, because they deserve to have credit for their input to my channel and the gifts that they share with all of us. I think he found out that people are looking into the case. It's a feeling you have too. Okay, the missing says that too. Unless he had an unknown problem. Yeah. Yeah, because that's awful young. It was really sad that I saw, I'm not sure the age of the sibling. Like, I'm not sure if it's her brother Anthony. I'm not really sure. But the girl that asked me to do this sent me a link of a little tiny channel. He only had like 2 subscribers on his YouTube channel, but it was just, you know, he said, my sister, I'm kind of thinking it's one of the brothers. So, I mean, there's like 9 other children besides Bernadette. They had lots of children. And when Bernadette passed away, she had a little sibling that was only like 6 months old. And the mother was like, oh, the infant, the little baby is now starting to coo and smile, and Bernadette is missing it. Well, why is Bernadette missing her little baby siblings' first smiles and coos and ahs? Because your husband took her life, you know? Like the stepmother, I mean, the mother, it's not her stepmother. The mother refuses to accept. I don't know if she does now, if she's willing to accept that her husband took her daughter's life. Like, I don't know if she's making peace with that yet or not, but she's still in prison because she tried to hide it. She basically broke into her daughter's Facebook and, like, you know, changed some things and tried to manipulate it. So she's in jail for 6 years for perverting, you know, justice, basically, for manipulating the truth. Very sad that a mother would do that to her own child, her own daughter, not believe her own daughter. And I'll never get over, they send Bernadette to his grandparents, to his parents' house, right? To his parents. They take her phone so she can't contact anyone or call anyone. The mother threatens to kill her if she talks about the sexual abuse. And then the mother takes her phone, messes with the phone, says she ran away. And she had the stepdad go pick her up after she told her mother that he sexually assaulted her. Like, I would have left my child at the grandparents' house, regardless if it's his parents or not. I would have asked a family friend or an aunt, an uncle, somebody, let my daughter stay here until we can figure out what the hell happened, right? I mean, obviously my child feels threatened by my husband. I'm going to protect my child first. I'll never get over that. She had him alone go pick her up that morning. So this is what we're tracing, is the planets that were over their head at 10:49 a.m. That's what we're doing right now. So I'm going to take this moon line all the way out to the 25 miles. Take it out to this little patch of woods here. Okay, so I'll circle that area as well, just because it crisscrosses, right? It's a weird patch of woods here too. So because she's showing up in Virgo, I really want to pay attention to wooded areas. Let's see if I can. This is another book that I use besides Kirsty's. It's the Forensic Astrology for Everyone. If you guys want to learn true crime, really, like, I would recommend doing Kirsty McIntosh's, learning her way first, getting her book first, watching her videos first, and then build your way up from there. So first you got to learn how to read a natal chart. First you got to learn how to look at an astrology chart. You know, just a basic, learning the basics about astrology. Then if you want to learn criminal astrology, I would start off with Kirsty McIntosh, because I really do feel like she's the meat and potatoes of learning the basics for astrology. She's straightforward. She doesn't give all the bells and the whistles in the beginning for her first book. You know, it's the meat and potatoes. Then work your way up to, you know, adding in other astrologers. Like Val Evans is another amazing astrologer. But for me, someone with ADD and who struggles with a little bit of a learning disability, Val Evans is like when I'm more confident. When I'm more confident in knowing this stuff, then I'll work my way up to Val Evans, because she gives like all the side dishes, right? Val Evans is like the dessert. She's like the sprinkles on top of the cupcakes, right? She's like the cherry on top, where it gives all this other detail about, you know, what a criminal could look like, profiling if they're German, if they're Irish, if they're Russian, right? She can give all these other added extra details, but learn your meat and potatoes first. And I'm telling you, Kirsty McIntosh is your meat and potatoes. And then you can work your way up from there. So I'm going to read to you about Virgo, a location of Virgo. Like, I know off the top of my head that it means a wooded area, parks. And if you look, I mean, look where this is bringing us. Like, just to a little wooded area, which to me, that That screams Virgo. It just screams Virgo to me. Right where that little patch of woods is, right? This area here. It's very interesting. Right here. And that's right at the 25 degrees. The distance is the 25 miles. And that's as far out as what the planets are telling us, that 25 degrees would be the maximum amount, right? Saturn is also telling us that it's Earth. Virgo is telling us that it's Earth. Like she could be near a spring, something like that, but I really don't feel like there's a lot of water in her chart. So here's what it says about Virgo. For Virgo, it says, like all earth signs, Virgo governs places that are low to the ground and near to the floor. It also rules places connected with farming, okay? And look, fucking there's farms. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss. There's farms everywhere. Look at all this. Farming, right? So, yeah, it's amazing that I figured this out. It really is. I'm shocked. But it was that last video that Kirsty did. She did a video about the mapping. And when she finally said, like, Scribble Maps is the way to go, which is this program here, is Scribble Maps. Because it gives you the degrees. I was sitting there trying to do the degrees on Google Maps, and you can't do it. It's almost impossible to do it on Google Maps. Scribble Maps is the way to go. Hey, The Real Gemini, it's so good to see you. Did I not let you in chat before? What do you mean I'm finally letting you in chat? You're always welcome in chat, honey. You think she's at his parents'? Okay. Well, I mean, that's ground zero, Gemini. So this is what the astrology is saying, is that this is ground zero right here, right? Just like when we do the Summer Wells location. Ground zero is where we start. And then you work your way out as these planets move, right? So it's very possible. There might be something there of hers. I'm not sure how he did that within the 3 days at the grandparents' house, though, if you think about it. I mean, this is a very populated area. A very populated area. It's possible, Gemini. Gemini's gifted too. She's got a lot of gifts as well. She's very gifted as well. All of you guys have some gifts to bring to the table. I take into consideration everything you guys say and give you credit for it. So it's very possible. All right, let me continue reading what Virgo means. Because Virgo is the sign that our victim is in, okay? I believe she's buried in a location that's not much used. That's possible. I mean, look at, like, the astrology is saying 25 degrees is at the most, right? We can't go past this. Now, he did drive about 10 miles away from the house, and they say he got out of the car, and he took 418 steps or 410 steps. To me, that's like panicking, right? It reminded me of Alex Murdaugh when he was like running around taking all those steps immediately after the murders, right? So, I mean, it is bizarre. Why would you need to get out of the car in the middle of nowhere and do that, right? I mean, it's odd. And then you say she jumped out of the car and she's never to be seen again. You drive home without her. Driving home without her, I don't get, you know, and that he hid her book bag in that garage. I mean, if she was missing, you bring the book bag home. Why did he hide it and store it in the garage? It's just, you know, he's already guilty of killing her. Like, we already know this. He definitely is responsible for killing her. And his actions after it is shady. So I do get this vibe that with Virgo, she's in an earthy grave. And Capricorn means concrete too, Gemini. So it's very possible. I mean, it is something to consider. All right, let me finish reading. So I'm reading here about Virgo, guys. Okay, so all right, where am I at? Sorry. Okay, Virgo governs places that are farming, agricultural, something that has to do with harvest, or even storage bins that hold grain. Anywhere that has dairy farms, granaries, malt. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Malt houses and breweries, cornfields, hay stacks, hay racks, greenhouses, places connected to barley and wheat. Places that grow peas are where cheese and butter is made, are where cheese and butter is stored, chicken coops, chicken ranches, places that churn butter. Inside the house, areas used for study, accountant, any places that store libraries, bookcases, pens and reading material, writing material, typewriters, computers or processors, a study hall, offices, items for bookkeeping. Virgo will also signify objects in an area that serve a purely utilitarian purpose. Places are things that are used to store, restore, or repair, such as sewing, sewing machines, sewing instruments, knitting, and spinning equipment. A place that stores tools are a servant's headquarters. That's if inside the home. But please remember, if a victim shows up in Virgo, that you could be looking at a local park, a place that has woods, a place that is in the earth. Countries and cities, Turkey, southern Greece, Athens, Iraq, Baghdad. This could be German, Switzerland, Rhodes, Hillsburg. So that's, I mean, he could be of a German background, or that her family could have, some type of Athens, Iraq, Turkey, Croatia, Jerusalem, Southwest France, Lyons, Rhodes, Germany, Basel, and even Switzerland, and Italy as well. So either the father or Bernadette or the mother or her siblings have something of this ethnicity in their family. The types of colors, we're looking at lily, white, the color of black speckled with blue. White rules the Virgo, the virgin. And another thing about sex crimes is I always remind you guys that Virgo is the virgin, right? They're attracted to young girls that are virgins. So that's another thing to consider. I know that that's a horrible thing to think of about that sign, but if you're a pedophile, and our victim is showing up in Virgo the virgin, it is something to consider, right? That he was attracted to her innocence, and he was attracted to her because she was innocent, right? A young girl. You think he had help? You think under the floor of the house? Okay. You go, girl. You're entitled to speak your mind and have an opinion here. I don't have a problem with it. Everyone here has special gifts. I think that's why we're all together. Okay, so we are a spiritual family. So those types of metals and stones. So you're looking at things associated with Mercury. Virgo is associated with agate, stones that are gray, stones that are called, I can't say this word, sardonyx, can't say that word right here. Sardonyx. I'm really not sure what that is. So stones that are gray, stones that are white, stones that, even limestone. So there you go. That could be concrete as well, white concrete. I do feel like with Saturn there, he made her smaller somehow. Like I'm thinking of a coffin as well. Like, he made her smaller. So it is interesting because I do feel like it's giving us some type of mapping, and it keeps crossing over the same highway. So I do believe that highway was utilized in her death somehow. It's interesting. All right, so this is what I have so far for Bernadette. I will do the AC line, DC line. I might do the line of Pluto. I'll probably just do the AC line and DC line, but you guys can kind of see where I'm going here. And hopefully I'm going to be able to send this to my subscriber who has contact with the brother. So my subscriber has made some form of, I don't know if she knows the brother, but she's communicated with him on social media somehow. So hopefully she can send this to the brother, Anthony, and then, you know, maybe something will ring a bell to Anthony. So I'm just going to finish off the AC line and the DC line, and it's probably going to make a pie like this here, and you guys can kind of see. Yeah, Virgo is the mother too, right? Yeah, Virgo is kind of like the harvest. So, you know, it rules the earth. It rules, another victim that was in Virgo was Chiron Harmon. He's in earth too. And it can mean a wooded area, but it usually means a shallow grave. Like she's not deep. Wherever she is, she's not deep. It's a shallow grave, usually. So, and yeah, Virgo rules purity, right? White, the color of a virgin, white, pure. I mean, it breaks my heart for Bernadette because she finally had something that she was passionate about, something that probably distracted her from the sexual abuse, which was being a photographer. She was a student of photography, and he had to join, you know, he had to take that away from her too. He wanted to go out and take pictures with her, and he wanted to become a photography too. Like there wasn't anything this girl had that was her own. He invaded her space. He invaded everything about her, you know? She never had anything to herself. Like she couldn't even have the love of photography without him being involved in it somehow. And that just breaks my heart for her, you know? It just kills me for her. A place that she could have had release and a distraction from the sexual abuse, he couldn't even give her that, you know? Because he got interested in photography too, of course, right? She had no solace at all. It's absolutely heartbreaking. She had no peace. He was there. She couldn't even take a shower without his camera. And when the police asked him about the camera, he said that she was eating candy in the shower. And he was concerned that she was eating candy in the shower. So, you know, he was spying on her to make sure that she wouldn't get fat. Like, what a, ugh. Really, Scott, really? You were concerned that your stepdaughter, who was 17 and beautiful, was going to get overweight. So you had to record her eating candy in the shower, which is bullshit. You know that's not why he did that, right? You know, he's a pervert. She had no escape from him. And some of these pictures that you see her in where she's like opening up her Christmas gifts, the look on her face, she's so sad. Like you can see it. She's sad. She was hurting on the inside, and I don't think anybody noticed it. I could see the pain in her face, you know? Just so much pain in her face. All right, so that's what I have so far for the mapping. I'll probably do another video and show you guys the, what the AC line and the DC line, but I just kind of wanted to show you how I'm doing the mapping and what we have so far. Again, we want to consider a couple, like a mile out each way, right? Like we should really consider the areas along these lines as well on either side. So, I mean, her being in Virgo does rule farming, and there's a million farms around this. There's farms everywhere. There is a farm as soon as you get out of the populated area, it's all farms. It's all farmland. Look at that. And the astrology is saying that she could be near farmland, and there's nothing but farms here. Farms everywhere. And the girl that I'm doing this map for has searched a few farms already. She even went down in like some of the sewer areas where the farm drainage runs off and things like that. So, they have not stopped looking for her body. They haven't stopped. They haven't stopped looking for her. All right, so I'm going to head out. I hope this was helpful for everyone, and maybe we'll do, if you guys want me to do any other victims, I am working on another map for someone else with Summer Wells. I will be doing another map for Summer Wells with doing the asteroids. I know I struggle saying that word, asteroids, of a few suspects for Summer Wells. So there's about 3 different suspects that I have, and I will be tracing a couple of those lines as well. I mean, I know Kirsty has mapped out Summer Wells. Like her map is like #1 for Summer Wells' disappearance. But I'm going to be just trying to look at suspects. Okay, and I can't really mention the name of these suspects because law enforcement has not mentioned them. So I don't think it's right that I, talk about a suspect that another astrologer and I are looking at together in the Summer Wells case, because if law enforcement mentioned them as a suspect, I'd have no problem saying their name. Okay, but I don't want to destroy someone's life because they look suspicious astrology-wise. And they do look suspicious astrology-wise. You think she's at a private residence? Being her voice and having your golden heart, keep fighting the good fight. Thank you, Gemini. All right, everyone. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, the mother knew. You're right, Gemini. I don't know how the mother just betrayed her daughter like this. It's just terrible. It just breaks my heart. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being here and being patient with me while I learn how to do this. All right, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye now.